Uh, uh, Howdy everybody. Welcome back to another Final Fantasy XIV stream. It's been a while, hasn't it? You know, I was talking on my last stream. I've been playing a lot of WoW, Dragonflight, and it's pretty bad. So it just made me want to play FF14 more. So here we are. That's what we're gonna do today. This is what I want to do. I have not played in a while. Just, you know, it's nice to take a break, play some other games every now and then. Yeah, it's just playing other MMOs just kind of inspired me to come back to this one because it kind of helps you realize just how good FF14 is, right? Like I was doing like the first branch of the first LFR raid that came out with Dragonflight, and people were wiping on a mechanic that was literally just bring the lightning to the pillars. You know, that thing that's on like the first boss of Paglethon, right? They just couldn't figure it out. We had like 4 stacks of whatever the thingy is that gets you more powerful each wipe. And yeah, I eventually just had to bounce. So I was like, you know what? I just really want to play FF14. So that's what we're gonna do. It's been a while, so I need to catch up on a few things. First of all, I figured we'd go and do the Make It Rain campaign, because I have not done that yet. And you know me, I like money. So that would be our opportunity to get some, right? Well, Manderville bucks anyways. And yeah, after that, I don't know. I need to catch up on some roulettes and stuff. I'm quite clearly very far behind. It's not like a huge deal since I'm not rating this tier. Like I don't need the top end gear, but it would still be kind of nice just to have the new weapon and stuff. Who knows? Now, as long as I stay on top of it, it gets easier to keep on top of it in the future, right? In case I just change my mind for whatever reason, it's just better to just go ahead and be prepared. So yeah, that's kind of what I figured we'd be doing today. Where am I at? Okay, so I've been stocking up on causality because I'm not sure what the next Manderville weapon step is going to require. I kind of figured it would be causality, but I'm not entirely sure. But obviously I'm like very far behind on my comedy. I think I need 500 to get the weapon. I think I can get it this week. I need to go back and double check and see how many of the little swords that I need. But I think I can get it this week. That's how long it's been. Okay, so I like 2 weeks. Okay, so scratch that. But we'll still run the roulette. But outside of that, yeah, it's just gonna be chill. You know, it might be a shorter stream today. I don't know. I don't work until tomorrow afternoon, and you know, I've been working the past 3 days. So that's been an experience. And yeah, I just really wanted to hop in here and stream something. So here we are. Getting back to the classics, right? I think I need to talk to Kippy. So let's see here. Yep, that's definitely the Make It Rain campaign. Okay, so let's see what she's got to say, shall we? As I live and breathe, is that Kyra? What a pleasant surprise. You're that reporter, right? Kip, I'll troll her a bit. Why not? Your service, or rather the Raven service, I suppose. I never had the chance to thank you properly before. The article I write, with your help, drew eyes from across the realm and beyond our tabloid. Ooh, wish my work went beyond this channel. That's alright. It was the highlight of my already illustrious career, and I'm overjoyed to see you again. Actually, I'm in need of help to write my latest piece, and since fortune has placed you before me, I wonder if you wouldn't lend me a hand. Of course I will, because I get things out of it. The only reason I would do things. Your contribution shall be much appreciated, I'm sure. Now then, the matter at hand is the invitation which was sent to the Raven offices from the Gold Saucer. Last time we ended up solving a mystery. I wonder what we're going to do this year. Then asked to write a piece on the festivities currently underway at the establishment. Naturally, as the Raven's most senior reporter, I was chosen for this privileged task. For the reputation of my publication on my shoulders, and there's no shame in recruiting an assistant or two with whom to share the weight. Need someone with keen skills of observation and dazzling insight. Judging by your previous ventures, there is none more suited for this task than you. How about it? Can I count on you? Of course. All right, very good. Well then, let's depart for the Gold Saucer at once. All right, that we can do, and we'll take the airship. I feel like if we're gonna do an event quest, might as well RP it. Yeah, I'm excited to see what all's coming up this year. You know, they have the 10th anniversary page up, and it looks like a lot of stuff that should be a lot of fun. A lot of mysteries, maybe. You know, they are teasing the Rising event already. They've got the schedule plan for the next 14-hour stream, but that's not until next year. So, you know, we've got some time, but I imagine they're going to throw in quite a bit of surprises in there as well. Mostly, I'm just super excited for FanFest. You know, we will be doing some streams of the keynote address. I have not checked my work schedule. I don't know if it will be live or not. I'm going to try as best as possible to make it live. It is LA time. Normally, it would not be an issue, but they have been having me close for the first time ever at work. So I'm not entirely sure how it's going to go, but I am going to try and do my best to do a live stream of the keynote. Now, I don't know if you watched last time. I don't know. Did I stream the keynote last time from FanFest? But we can do usually, assuming they keep it the same as they do every year. Streamers can usually do the keynote address and the live letter, but all of the other stuff is no streaming allowed. So we would have to just kind of stick with the big announcements. I mean, ultimately, that's really what's important. Like, you know, I guess it would be kind of cool to co-stream, you know, the talk with the writers panel or whatever. Those are usually a lot of fun, but, you know, the keynote is the big one. They'll be doing probably a teaser of the new trailer. You know, they always release it in 3 segments, and the first one's always kind of like the smallest segment. But yeah, that's the important one, and I'm gonna do my best to try and get that up and go. But you know, we'll just have to kind of play it by ear, see what the schedule's looking like. But yeah, I'm gonna try doing my best. All right, let's go ahead, purchase mini cactpot. Nice, nice. Do our little Y here. Go with the middle. Okay. I think we all get a bonus, right? Because it is Make It Rain, or maybe I'm making things up here. I thought everyone got a bonus for MGP for the Make It Rain campaign, but maybe I'm wrong. Go. Okay. But yeah, so that's going to be really exciting. So, you know, I haven't been streaming this as much lately, I know, but we do have a lot of really big things coming up at the end of the month for it. So just look forward to that. I imagine they will probably announce the 6.55 whatever patch soonish, or 6.5, 6.45. I don't even know what we're on right now. Probably 6.45, right? And we'll get a day for that. I imagine it'll be the week after FanFest, but, you know, who knows? So that'll be the next step of the Manderville weapons and everything. And who knows? Maybe they'll announce 6.5, or at least give us some teasers with it with the live letter. You know, FanFest is big enough that they usually have a lot of stuff waiting in the wings for it. I mean, to welcome you personally to the Gold Saucer. Oh, I did not expect to see you there, Mistress Fast. You are always welcome as an honored guest, of course, because everything's rigged in my favor here. Ah, an honored guest, as it seems I picked the right adventurer. Ah, she's helping you. Well, I must say, this gives the Raven a significant advantage. Oh? Are we competing with other tabloids? Your arrival, all of our guests are present. Now, if I could have but a moment of your time. Are we doing a glass onion event here? Is that what's happening? Guess we'll find out. Masters, reporters of Eorzea, I welcome you one and all to the Gold Saucer. My name is Ollier, and I have the distinct pleasure of serving as an attendant here. As you are all well aware, we are currently holding our most fabulous event of the year, the Make It Rain campaign. Yeah, buddy. Hit me with those MGP mounts. During its duration, guests may receive up to 50% more MGP, a currency which can be exchanged. Okay, so we know how MGP works. However, some in Eorzea have yet to grace us with their patronage, which is why we have invited the most esteemed reporters in the realm to partake in our festivities, and prepared sizable compensation for your resulting articles. Have they considered building a giant globe? Have they considered that? No joke. I really want the globe to turn into Dalamud during FanFest. I really do. We already know it can turn into Ozma. We've already seen that. Of course, a simple tour would hardly suffice to satisfy such curious minds as yours, so we've taken the liberty of preparing a little diversion for the occasion. Okay. Yeah. Behold this masterful mammoth made in the precise likeness of Godbird Manderville. We have hidden 4 throughout the gold saucer, 1 in each section, including Chocobo Square. Use your keen reporter senses to seek them out, and to the one who finds the most mammoths... Oh? Shall reward an exclusive interview with the man himself, President Godbert Manderville of Manderville and Manderville, famed goldsmith and proprietor of dreams. The Manderville? Manderville and Manderville? The one and only Manderville man? No paper has ever succeeded in securing a personal interview. Oh. He's right, the interview with Godbert Manderville will draw more eyes to the Raven than news of another calamity. This isn't a competition to be taken lightly. I will help you. I happen to know a few Mandervilles. Now, the reward is worthwhile, to be sure, but most Master Therrell and I have come here alone, while the Raven seems to have sent 2 reporters. I propose that the Harbor Herald and Mithril Eye join forces. That would even the odds enough, methinks. No objection to that. To the winners go Manderville's secrets, to the losers pitiful ignorance. Let's keep our eyes well peeled, adventurer. I will find the mammoths. In the case both teams find the same number of mammoths, the swiftest to return will be judged the victor. And now let the mammoth hunt begin. Search every corner of our establishment, and may you find the bounties you seek. Wonderful. I remember this being really hard last year. I feel like I had to look up a guide to find all of this stuff. Like, the sparkles are a lot smaller than normal. There are 4 wind-up Godbirds hidden out there. We should each search for 2. You take Wonder Square and Round Square, and I'll cover the remaining 2. Okay, Wonder Square and Round Square. Got it. Got a left and right. Let's go. Assuming I can find the right direction here, and there it is. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun with FanFest. And yeah, we'll try and do as much here on the channel as I can. It'll just be take it as it comes, really. Unfortunately, I won't actually be at FanFest. I'm not one of the cool people that got press tickets or anything like that. But you know, we'll just gives us an excuse to hang out and game a little bit more, I think. Okay. Last time we had one, like, hidden back here somewhere. Okay. I have a feeling it's going to be up top. Somewhere. Alright, and outside of that, you know, it's just going to be a good time with a lot of content coming out sooner than later at this point. You know, we are a few weeks into the last patch. So around this time is when we should be having the 0.5 patch dropping. Hey, there we go. Oh, they're much bigger than I thought. You found a wind-up Godbird. Cool. Seems that we wasn't quick enough to find the mammoth in Entrance Square. Please tell me you're faring better than I. Goodness. Make haste to Event Square. Okay. Among other games, obviously we still have more of FF7 to go through, which I'm really excited about. I know we left on kind of a quick hanger, but... You know, I was trying to fit in the stream before I had a chance to go to work. Okay. But we got it done. Though I did get a new coworker who called me old. I'm going to be thinking about that for a few years at this point. I don't think she likes me all that much. It's fine. It is what it is. That's why I'm streaming. Please, please help me escape retail. Please, for the love of God. Speaking of, this is your chance to like and subscribe if you like the content here. Oh, he's like up there. That's funny. I guess I should have just followed the people, right? Adventure, good news this time. I found the mammoth in Event Square. Wonderful. But where's the last one? Let's report our victory. All right, I'm a-going. I'm a-going. But yeah, it's just one of those things. You know, I'm trying to do a whole lot of things at once. And, yeah, hopefully some of it makes the channel better or more entertaining. I don't really know. I just kind of make things and hope for the best. But yeah, you know, I won't know until it's done, right? You able to find 2 mammoths? Yes. Excellent. Exactly 2 likenesses. The final results are as follows. 3 mammoths followed by the reporters of the Raven, and 1 mammoth by the reporters of the Mithril Eye. We win! Yay! Congratulations! But surely that can't be it. Surely there's more to it. We'll summon him forthwith. Because obviously we don't have the minion. Ah, there we go. As you're ready for the interview, I shall call upon Lord Manderville, so please wait here until his arrival. The Harbor Herald and Mithril Eye, I ask that you follow me. While none are as knowledgeable as Lord Manderville, our staff shall do their utmost to guide you upon an educational and, dare I say, entertaining journey of the Gold Saucer. Do I have to ask questions? Is that what we're doing? It's just like my real job used to be. I'll try and take it seriously. I wanna help the Raven. This was a team effort. Oh, apologies for the wait. I take it you're the eagle-eyed reporter from the Raven. I'm not gonna do their voices that I do for the main quest. Accompanied by none other than my old friend Kyra, I see. You haven't decided to doff the mantle of adventure in favor of a reporter's quill and ink, have you? Lord Manderville, 'tis a pleasure to make your personal acquaintance. My name is Kippy Jakia of the Raven. I have the honor of penning this exclusive interview for your esteemed patronage. This adventurer was kind enough to assist me on this project, so please consider her a temporary staff member of our staff. What's up? Hello again. I remember what you did to your son. I remember the Manderville combo. You know, how about them aliens? Very good, very good. I am overjoyed to host you both at my darling Gold Saucer. Naturally, I expect some initial awkwardness as I become accustomed to the process, but I shall do my utmost to bear both body and soul. Oh god. Here we go. Ask away. Your candor is much appreciated, Lord Manderville. Now then, perhaps you might share with us some exclusive details regarding the Gold Saucer's creation. Oh, a simple question. I thought you might ask me to divulge the secret of my family's peerless beauty, which has been carefully guarded for generations. Yes, well, I intend to get there in time, of course. But the objective of my article is to convey the charm of your establishment to my readers, and where better to start than the tale of its inception? Only a reporter most masterful looks past the beauty of the man to the beauty of what he has wrought. Oh ho 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 ho. How delightful indeed. Come, allow me to give you the grand tour whilst answering your question with pomp and circumstance. Let us head to the Aetherite Plaza, which rests in the heart of the Gold Saucer. From there I shall guide, and show you why House Manderville's ingenuity knows no equal. Ooh, I'm okay with some Gold Saucer lore. Speaking of, I did see that Encyclopedia Eorzea is getting its 3rd edition here pretty soon. It'll be on sale in December, but you can put in the pre-orders now. And yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'll probably get that one from work with the discount and everything if I'm still there, which kind of saddens me to think about if it doesn't come out till December. But you know, if that happens to be the case. All right. Ah. So I cannot skip things. Interesting. All right, simply tell me where you wish to go, and you shall have my personal account. Well, shall we go to just down the list, I guess? I don't know if there's any particular the way to do this. Let's go backwards. Yeah, let's go backwards. It's been a while since we've had unskippable scenes. This could take a while. I hope my voice can hold up. Behold his visage. The golden idol. Still mad I haven't seen any cactuars in FF7 yet. Wonder Square was envisioned as a place where our patrons can kick up their feet and take in the wondrous scenery we've arranged for them. The second floor is equipped with a cocktail lounge, which offers the realm's finest libations. From what I've heard, this area is among the most popular. Is it true that you can offer games hailing from the Far East? I don't remember any... Oh yeah, Mahjong. That's right. Doman Mahjong has received great acclaim since its introduction here. It is true. Wasn't there like an actual Domong or a Mahjong pro that started playing here because it's like the best of the online formats of the game? I think that was the case. It was brought to my attention by an employee who spent time in the Far East, and there it is played as simple recreation, as a display of hospitality, or in fierce competition among common folk and nobility alike. Truly, it brings me great joy that people can come here to enrich themselves with games from distant lands. Please, Blitzball, I'm begging you. I am begging you. More Blitzball, please. If this is... You're bringing in games from foreign lands. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Alright, so that was Wonder Square. Oh, is he not done? Alright. But there's still so much to see. Perhaps we should return to the Aetherite Plaza and consider the next hand of your hard-won interview. It wasn't that hard. It was easier than last year. And to the event square. Let's go. Yeah, I want to do them all. You know, I only get this event once a year. Oh, okay. Gonna see Slice's right in action? Could we be so lucky? Ah, there we go. Oh, as the name implies, here is where we hold our grandest events. At present, Masters Typhon and Yojimbo perform their regularly scheduled show to the delight of all and sundry. Speaking of this Master Typhon, I've heard that he's a terrifying monster whose sneezes are powerful enough to send someone flying off their feet. Pardon my directness, but does this not pose a danger to your guests? Danger? Why no, not at all. You can rest assured that behind Master Typhon's frightening countenance lies the kind heart of a model employee who cares deeply for the safety of our guests. I remember the day we met fondly. Master Typhon had been ushered into our realm due to an attempt by the Thaumaturge's Guild to summon Void Scent. And after a journey full of twists and turns that yielded him no means to return from whence he came, he decided to seek my gainful employment. As I heard this story, I knew he would be perfect as one of our attractions. After the requisite job interviews, I hired him on the spot. Well, yeah, he did get off to a sticky start. You know, that's what happens when you hang out with an octopus all day. Unleashing sneeze upon mighty sneeze in alarming succession. However, once I realized he only meant to offer up a reprieve from that day's blistering heat, I thanked him for his kindness, and he had been amenable to constructive criticism ever since. Of course, you know how refreshing Master Typhon sneezes can be. The tales of your bout with him and Master Ultros are still told to this day. Oh, were I there to witness it myself. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Now, as much as I would like to regale you farther, I fear I'm on the edge of rambling. Let us conclude our tour of Event Square and return. Yeah, I kind of like this. I like getting a little bit of the lore of each section. Yeah, I really had no idea how Mr. Typhon had joined the ranks of the Fates. Or the Gates, as it were. You know, I really have not done that many Gates, believe it or not. Of all of my years playing this game, I think I've maybe done a total of like 10. I probably should do them, because I guess it is really good MGP in the long run. Square, yeah, so famous for, Ah, yes, Mount Coral soars majestic over its domain. Have you ever seen its like before? I wager you haven't, for this peak that countless visitors climb and ascend daily is a construction of my imagination. You know what inspired me? Inspired? This was fashion based on a model? That it was, but I'm not surprised the name wouldn't ring familiar. Mount Coral appears in a classic tale I used to enjoy immensely as a young lad. The mountain that fed the booming mining industry, you can see how it would inspire the liberal use of explosives for this attraction. We procure our bombs from Garblin artisans, thereby extending a unique commercial opportunity to merchants who might otherwise be shunned or feared by others. Naturally, we needed to ensure the explosive would create a thrilling spectacle without risk of injury. I myself spent many a day testing the efficacy of a variety of blasting powders upon my person. Yeah, that checks out. Alas, although I could expound upon this topic for moons, I'm sure your readers wish for an article as varied as the saucer itself. Let us return to the Aetheryte Plaza. I don't know why we have to keep going back. You just take it to the next spot. And of course, the entrance square. This one we know very well. Actually go for a couple games of Mahjong, but it's been a while since I played. I'd need to bring up my Akushi. I got one saved specifically for this game. 5 years after the seventh upper calamity ravaged Eorzea, the gold saucer rose from the sands of Ilda, serving as a beacon for all in the realm who sought leisure and diversion. The calamity had dealt the city-states a grievous blow, and each and every citizen had worked tirelessly to see their homes healed. I built the gold saucer to be a place where the beleaguered could forget their worries for a time and remember the feeling of a smile upon their faces. Noble purpose, to be sure, especially considering the amount of your own wealth you poured into reconstruction efforts. Build a legendary monument of recreation during such trying times must have been a challenge, considering the resources and manpower necessary for such an undertaking. But that is exactly why it had to be done, to give work to hands robbed of purpose by disaster, and thereby construct the backbone of a thriving economy. I owe a great debt to each and every person under my employ. It was said only by their hard work and diligence that the gold saucer was able to aid Eorzea in her time of need. Behold! Wealth! As the cactus weathers hot desert climbs, so too did my workers persevere with indefatigable spirit. For this reason, I chose the Sabotinder as our mascot, the appellation Senor as a sign of respect for their contributions. All of that being said, the gold saucer is no charity. Quite the opposite, in fact. An operation of this magnitude would soon shrivel in the suns without the steady flow of profit. No, ho, 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 except for me, who always wins. Much more I could say on the matter, but alas, we only have so much time. Let us return to the Aetheryte Plaza and perhaps consider a change of scenery. I think that's just about everything. I think that was the last one. We have learned a great deal about our Manderville man. Yes. I think that's just about it. There's no other spots for us unless we just want to go up to the Chocobo races, I guess. I believe I have more than enough information to write several articles. It's been quite a while since I've spoken of my beloved saucer at such a great length. I do hope my ramblings did not bore you. Far from it. I am delighted to hear it. Built the gold saucer to revitalize commerce and rekindle the spark of joy in people's lives. Laughter and smiles are as much of a lifeblood as food and shelter. This place serves to fulfill that all too elusive need. I mean, I feel like she's a little young to be gambling, but I don't make the rules. I guess, I mean, gotcha exists now, so who am I to judge? Not only for our patrons, but for our workers who tirelessly keep the gold saucer operating smoothly. My greatest hope is for their happiness. See, a beacon of joy, guiding people to the smiles they've forgotten. I believe I can use that. Thank you for everything, Lord Manderville. This interview gave me all I need for a phenomenal article. Oh, it was entirely my pleasure. May your pen burst forth with inspiration, as do the clouds with rain. God, I wish. I haven't opened Scrivener in a few weeks now. I really should get on that, shouldn't I? At some point. You know, being my original career and all. I've got some ideas for stories for the next Storytime ASMR thing, whatever you want to call it. I don't know when it'll happen, but we'll see. Do be sure to speak with Ollie on your way out. He has prepared something that I believe will bring a smile to your face. I mean, I'd rather have a mount. I don't use minions. Like gold itself, the ideas which guide this establishment are immutable. Apparently this minion, I've never played for minion, but apparently the Godbert minion is just absolutely nuts. As in, like, why even use another minion at any point? Who knows, maybe that would be a good excuse to give this a shot. But no, I need to get back into doing some raids and stuff, if I can remember my buttons. Pleasure was all mine. It was an honor to hear such first-hand accounts from the Gold Saucer's founder. I see now that this amusement center was designed with much care for the people it serves. In fact, I'm thinking of entitling my article The Gold Saucer, Where Hearts of Gold Reign. Hope it will convince more people to come and visit for themselves, and perhaps take with them a heart full of mirth. As I haven't forgotten you, adventurer, I shall make sure to credit you in my article front and center. Before you depart, allow me to present you with a small token of our appreciation. It will be underway for some time yet, till the 17th at 1 a.m. Boom. Cool. All right, we did it. Bye-bye. It'd be nice to have a follow-up quest just to know how the article went, I guess. There we go. But yeah, you know, after this, it's just the summer event, which I'm really surprised that we have not had yet. But I think they try lining it up with the summer break in Japan, which I think is like the end of this month into early August. Like, I'm still not entirely sure how the school year works over there. Like, I always thought it is pretty much like January to December is their year or something. I don't know. After how much anime I've watched, I'm still confused. But yeah, I know it's like a month off for summer break or something. But they get a lot more breaks like throughout the year or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Speaking of, I did download a couple guides on Japanese. I don't know if we'll do them on stream because I don't know if they're the kind of thing that is really streamable. But they're the Genki guides. We have a couple in our bookstore, I think. And you know, there's like online supplements. So I think I'm finally going to try and get around to doing that. I've always wanted to learn. I've tried several times and always give it up. And it's because I think it's very hard to find one that's kind of like all-inclusive. You know, you got Duolingo, which is kind of specific and apparently not that great when it comes to like grammar and how people actually talk. And then there's a bunch of other ones that are like paid services and stuff. So I think this one's going to be like a nice all-arounder. I need one that's just, it's not only helping like learn to speak, but I'd like to learn how to like read it too, right? I can like read signs and stuff in the background. So yeah, that might be kind of fun. I don't, like I said, I need to go through the book and some of like the supplemental online stuff that goes with it, and see if it's really like any good at all, because I really don't know. And yeah, but who knows? Maybe I'll try and do some supplemental Duolingo streams if I feel like I'm getting the hang of it enough, because I think that would be really fun. I really want to like start learning some more languages. So yeah, I feel like streaming it might encourage me to try a little bit more, try and a little bit harder, keep up with it a little bit more. I did Irish Gaelic for like a year and a half, and unfortunately, without having anyone to speak with or read it with or anything like that, I've kind of forgotten most of it. I remember congratulations is Kawarchis. It's like Konus Atatu is like how are you or something like that, but I don't know if any of that's like actual like how people speak it. And yeah, I kind of forgot it all. But Japanese, with me being a VTuber, right? Obviously, I watch a lot of anime and stuff. So yeah, it might be a good opportunity, and it'll be fun. I'm ready to finally dig in and do it. But yeah, as I was saying, the next big event that I can think of is the big summer event. We haven't had that yet, and that one's always a lot of fun. They have the tower climb. It's just a big party in Costa del Sol. It's probably one of the bigger events of the year in terms of just like seeing people around, which is always kind of cool. Like people come back for the summer event. And yeah, they usually have some really good rewards. Usually some bikinis or something like that. That will totally not end up on certain illegal sites with certain illegal changes, right? It's just yeah, it's a popular event. And I haven't heard anything about it. My Discord has like a data mining channel. I haven't really looked through that. So I don't know if they've like unveiled the new outfits or something that's in the game. I imagine they might not even be in the game yet. Maybe not until 4.5. We'll see. We'll see. But you know me, my nice beachside property here. I'm always game for some new threads, or lack of, as it happens to be. All right. Now the other thing I can do is start crafting a little bit. It's I still did not make back the gold that I had wanted to make back. From investing in my crafting gear, and it might be a little bit harder nowadays. I don't know how often people are crafting. Let me actually go check out the market board, see what prices are at. There might be just too many crafters nowadays to really sustain it in terms of like actually making money. Now it does help that I usually gather my own materials. It just takes a little bit longer, but I mean, what else am I going to do all day? Right? All right, so this is going to be tricky getting back into this. This is probably just going to be a garbage performance, but bear with me. I don't really remember anything about this boss. It's been over a month at this point. Here we go. And I'm sure people are doing this now that like cleared this on Savage or whatever. But it is nice to see a group that actually is doing it. Man, that WoW experience was just so bad. I'm like, this is LFR, and people cannot figure out, hey, bring the lightning to the tower. And that's like the only mechanic in the fight. It was a council fight, right? It was just so odd. It was so odd. I've never would have imagined that would have been the problem spot. Okay. All right, so we're doing back and forth again. Gonna be one of those fights. There we go. I'm sure my DPS is just like garbo right now. Go. All right. The hard part for me is just remembering all the mechanics. I feel like I can kind of remember most of them. You know, switching back over to the FF style of combat doesn't really feel too bad. Like, I feel like I'm already kind of back into it. I mean, I haven't been away for that long, and I haven't been playing WoW for that long. So, you know, the muscle memory's still there. You just gotta get a little, give it a little love, give it a little kickstart. Okay. Okay, super chain theory. This is the donuts, yeah. Here we go. Perfect timing too. Right in the middle of my 2 melee combos. Perfect, perfect. I will not complain. Okay, get off to the side, Parthenon. Here we go. Yeah, I saw, you know, a few people here and there have been checking out my last Talking to Red. I'm honestly kind of surprised. I mean, it's not nearly as many as some of my past episodes. But to be completely honest, I'm genuinely surprised anyone was watching it at all. You know, looking at the performance in hindsight, it really wasn't nearly as good as I thought it was at the time. Like, looking back on it and actually giving myself some time to review it. But, yeah, if, I guess if it helped someone, that's what matters. Go, move over here. Nice. And we're good to go. Alright, but yeah, I need to come up with some new guides. It's been a while. You know, we could probably use a new welcome sprout or something like that. It's just, I'm not entirely sure where to go from here. I mean, I can do like little, I don't know, like UI tips and tricks, but I feel like we've mostly covered everything in terms of really new player content. You know, the welcome sprout guides are not really meant to like explain how raids work or anything like that. I mean, I guess I could, but that's not really what it's about. It's really for baby players, right? People who are literally like just coming into the game. Here we go. All right. Here we go. All right. We're fine, we're fine. Okay. More than enough time. Oh man, I forgot. Forgot about Magic Barrier and all that. Oh, I'm not used to, after playing the other game for a while, I'm not used to having so many buttons that I can actually use. Right? So many buttons that are actually useful for the entire fight. What is this? I'm pressing more than 1 and 2 the whole time. Here we go. Alright. I kind of wonder if they're going to announce a, the famed 16 collab at some point. I hope they do. I imagine that would be very much like a fan fest thing. Here we go. But I don't know. Like I kind of want to be careful with it though, because so far I have somehow, I don't know how, but I've avoided any spoilers about 16. Like I managed to do that with the 7 remake, right? For the 2 years or whatever before it actually hit PC, and I'm gonna try doing that with 16 as well. So it kind of sucks that like there's so many people playing 16 right now. Like I know Ina is playing it. A lot of the JP Hollows have been kind of giving it a look. And I really, really want to watch their streams, but I don't want to spoil myself on any of it. And I just really hope that if there is a 16 collab, like, it's not super spoilery, right? You know, the 15 one was pretty good. I had not played 15 when that one came out. And I feel like, you know, aside from just being a little confused on who everyone was, because I had not played it, right? You know, I felt like it was pretty good. I felt like you could do it without really getting super lost. There we go. I really can't believe that I got through that. I have no idea how. There we go. I'm not even paying attention to this. I'm like, okay, sure. It's the life of a streamer, I guess. Okay. I feel like this is going really slowly, though. Like, we should really have it down by now. Maybe it's just people going through on alts and stuff. I don't really know. Yeah, I figured like a lot of people by now would have their weapon and stuff, right? Yeah, I mean, we have had a couple go down, but like not as many as I would have thought, right? Okay. Like, not enough for it to take this long. So yeah, I'm guessing it's just alt jobs. You know, people trying to round out those other weapons, other gear sets, I would assume. Or maybe it's just been so long that I genuinely can't remember how long this fight is supposed to take. That's also entirely possible. Here we go. Alright, so 2 right and then a left. Got it. Alright, there we go. Not too bad. We got it done. Now, the other thing is, do I actually need any items from this? I don't think I do. Like, I'm at 640 on everything. So, yeah. I think I can skip most of it. Except the minion, of course. I do want the minion. Hey, there we go. And we'll call him the Black Mage. He tried. Yay. Hey, 2 comms. All right. I don't know what I did, but sure, I'll take it. There we go. Yeah, it just kind of sucks that I thought I was a week further into it than I actually am. So yeah, I won't get my weapon today. But yeah, let me check the food and everything. Like how much is the Baba Ganoush going for? Actually, you know what? I was usually making calamari rapini. Going for like 5,994. Okay. I feel like that's actually higher than it was. Huh. Interesting. Maybe I should go for that. How much is this? 3. Okay. Yeah, so it's all about the calamari right now, looks like. Ooh, dragon fruit. Okay. I wonder what I need for that. The problem is I don't know what I'm going to need in terms of like my currencies, because some of that took, was it tomestones or was it script? I can't entirely remember. It was one of the two. It might have been script. So I've got to, I've got to go and do a couple things with that too. So, yeah. But it is nice being an Omnicrafter, you know. That's the hardest thing about, I think, trying to hop back over to WoW, is just being limited to 2 professions. And, like, having to hop on alts and all of this stuff and trying to level some of that stuff again. It's been pretty rough. It's very, very, very time-consuming having to hop around. You know, if you've got 2 crafting professions and you have to rely on either the market board where it's going to get really expensive or an alt where it takes a lot of time, like it just takes forever to really keep up. So I am excited to hop back in here and actually get some crafting done. But, you know, I don't remember what the dragon fruit requires. Or where am I at on that? Let's take a look. Let us take a look. Dragon fruit, dragon fruit. Oh, wow. So it's like a bunch of stuff that I don't even know. Crafting, coconuts, okay. Okay. So it's like not terribly difficult. It's just all a bunch of stuff that I don't already have. Because all of my Ovibos milk I've already turned into cheese, right? And this, I guess I don't have the right thing for it. So I'd have to go back and learn that map. Okay, so it's a little trickier. But yeah, my problem is I just don't have enough space. I mean, look at my bags, man. I'm running full. I'm running full, and most of it is either food or materia. I mean, I guess I should really get rid of some of this food. I'm not using most of this. Why do I have all of this? I'm just hoarding it. You know, I get it, and I'm thinking, oh man, I'm gonna need this one day. I'm gonna level an alt job, and I'm gonna need that extra 3%. And then I just never do. So it just adds up and adds up and adds up. Yeah, I really need to go through here and clear out some of this. The materia I do use. Maybe not the quick arm 9. Some of this I can get rid of. But obviously, you know, any of the red materia I'm going to use at some point for something or other. At least for now. Okay. So, let's hop in and do a roulette. What am I at on my currencies right now? 400? Okay. I really need to go back to Rods at Han and double check and see what the yeah, they need. Is it a bad time right now? Like, is it you know, that part of the patch lull where there's just not enough tanks? Is that kind of what we're at right now? But that's the other thing is, you know, we get into that LFR raid, right? It took me like half an hour to get into it. Half an hour just to wipe on the second boss 4 times on a very, very basic mechanic. So yeah, I have to say, at the end of the day, I highly enjoy this. Like, there's always this weird, oh, which game is harder, right? Which game's harder? The thing is, like, that kind of discussion, I feel like only appeals to, like, the biggest grognards on both teams anyways. Like, they're really only comparing, like, Mythic to Savage. There's not really a lot of perspective from the little guy, right? Like, which one's harder, or which one's more challenging? You know, to just your average casual player hopping into LFR, or just, like, doing the normal raids here in the game, right? Or like or just like the alliance raids even, right? I definitely feel like FF14, I don't know necessarily if I would say that they're harder, right? Like, just from what I saw from that first LFR, WoW's mechanics are definitely a lot more dumbed down than I remember them being. I will say that. But there's also a lot going on, right? Like, it's just visually a lot. The timing's a little bit faster, so, I mean, it is what it is. I will say, I don't know which one's harder, but I think the player base skill in Final Fantasy is much, much higher. I don't know if it's because of the way the game trains you to do these things, or just that most of the people doing this have probably been playing a while, and they're kind of used to it. I don't know. But I will say I think the skill cap is much higher in Final Fantasy. But like I was sitting there in that raid and I was like, how are people not understanding this? Like, it was literally a mechanic that we've had in dungeons, like just regular old dungeons for a while here. And you know, it's not to say that there aren't a lot of, you know, really kind of dumb, no thoughts, head empty players in Final Fantasy. Like, clearly I'm not raiding anymore because Party Finder is just too much to deal with, right? So you know, at a certain point, I think it does even out once you start getting into the higher tiers. Like they're both, I would say, about equal. But in terms of just like your average casual player base, like you're just looking at any random dungeon or any random raid, alliance raid, what have you, I would say I enjoy the player base here a lot more, just from what I have seen. That's not community wise, like the community in terms of like people chatting. Yeah, WoW is definitely still WoW from what I saw. But I'm talking about it just in terms of just overall player skill. I just have a better time with people here at this point. Okay. And it's just wild because that wasn't even the current raid. Like that was the last raid, right? Like that was the entry raid that they made for the expansion, and they were having issues. So yeah, I'm happy to be back here where I'm home and I feel safe and good and loved. All right. Oh, hey, at least I have AoE during this fight. Nice. But, you know, they've got a patch coming out on Tuesday. You know, I'm going to keep playing at least until the end of my sub. You know, it's just... I bought it with gold or whatever. I might as well run through it and at least, at the very least, try and make a little bit of my gold back. In case I decide to replay it again in the future. But for right now, it's just going to be this month. We'll see how it goes. But they do have a new patch coming out on Tuesday. And I'll be honest, it does look like there's some pretty nice changes to it. Especially in terms of, like, warlocks can be any race now. They're making some changes to fucking Siege of Orgrimmar so that you can skip it. Like, oh my god, if that had existed 5 years ago, I never would have quit, alright? Like, half of what I do in that game at this point is just running Siege of Orgrimmar and, like, 5 different ults trying to get the tusks. So, yeah, like, little things like that, they're finally listening, so that's kind of nice. I don't know overall if it'll be a nice package, if it's enough to, like, keep me playing. I mean, ultimately, this is still Blizzard we're talking about here. There's a lot of baggage you gotta go through to really get me to stick with a Blizzard game for very long. But, you know, it is a couple of changes that might be kind of nice. Ultimately, though, it's just like, this world, like Final Fantasy Eorzea, it just feels lived in. It's something you hear a lot about, right? And I don't think anyone ever really explains it. You know, you see reviewers comparing the two, and one of the things a lot of reviewers seem to like about Final Fantasy over WoW is that the world feels lived in, even though it does have, obviously, like, the loading screens and all of that between zones. It's not all interconnected. It still feels lived in. And I think what that means to me is that it's a world that you can just kind of enjoy your time in, right? Like, it's a world where there's a lot of things to enjoy that don't necessarily have a point. Like, that's my biggest issue with Dragonflight so far, is that it doesn't have any magic to it. Like, there's a lot of things to do, but it's all very, very regimented. Right? Like, everything is designed so that it has to have a point. There's nothing there that exists just for the sake of, like, it's fun, or it's pretty, or it's fun to explore, right? Like, that doesn't exist anymore. So, you know, with Eorzea, I'm fine just kind of, like, hanging out and not doing anything. I can't really do that in WoW. You know, every zone where that might have potential, or like it looks really good, you get there and it's like the mob density is too much, so there's not really a place you can just kind of veg, right? You know, they got rid of all the world drops, so you can just kind of go and faff around in for a few hours, you know, seeing if maybe something cool will drop. Archaeology doesn't exist anymore. You know, little things like that. And yeah, like, it's like they don't want to design anything unless it it funnels you into that progression and gear mindset. It just doesn't have that magic of just existing for the sake of being kind of cool and wanting to bring people to enjoy their time there. So that's what I think they mean by lived in. When they say Eorzea feels lived in, like, how many streams have we had where I'm just like hanging out outside my house, just talking, or like hanging around in the quicksand and walking around Ul'dah, because they're just kind of cool places to chill. Like, you can just kind of hang out there and enjoy it. And it's not even something where you're going to be bored all the time. Like, they're just kind of genuinely fun to kind of hang out and just enjoy the atmosphere. So, yeah. You know, that I think more than anything else is really where I think WoW is kind of showing its age more than anything else. Is it's just everything is so regimented. Like, everything has to have a point. And, you know, that's what happens when you get a bunch of devs who were theory crafting neckbeards back in their WoW playing days, right? Like, they genuinely cannot understand the concept of creating something just because it's beautiful, or because it's fun to collect, or because people might think it looks cool. Like, it's so far out of their scope of how they think about life in general. Like, they literally cannot think about something if it doesn't have a point. If it does not have a purpose, right? Whereas, you know, you get here and it's like Yoshi and the dev team, like, they care about the role players, they care about building a world that feels like it's alive. And I think it shows, you know? That's why I think a lot of people came over and found out that they really like it. Okay. Speaking of, I need to get back in and roleplay a little bit more too. It's been a while. You know, I was kind of hoping that I'd be able to roleplay in WoW, but, you know, I mentioned in my last stream, it's, the server's just been dead. Or most of Core just has, like, no alliance anymore, or they become so insular that it's impossible to just find RP out and about unless you're, like, in a certain clique. Like, okay, well, I'll just come back here and open up Party Finder then, alright? There's plenty of RP that I can find here. No need to worry about cliques and inner circles and all of that. I just go to a bathhouse or a club or something that sounds fun and just meet some new people. Alright. Man. I am glad the Castrum is so much easier now. Like, this feels like it's going so much faster than it used to. I know this change is rather old, but I feel like I don't get Castrum a whole lot in MSQR. Like, I usually get, probably more than even Praetorium, I usually get Ultima, right? I feel like that's what I get, I would say 60% of the time. And then the other, like, 30 is usually Praetorium. So Castrum's kind of a rarity. I don't get to come in here all that often and enjoy it. But it really is kind of nice. Like, it is probably the fastest of the three at this point. And you still get the same reward, so yeah, why not? Okay. This will help out a little bit. I mean, this is, what, 50 tomes of comedy? So I'll get back up there. There's no way that I'm going to hit my weekly cap this week. I've just got too much going on with work tomorrow. But, you know, it'll at least put me back on the right path, and then Tuesday I'll be able to get my weapon, I think. I'll have to double check, but I think they did lower it to 5, didn't they? Instead of 7. Otherwise, we might be doing some casual streams of this each week until FanFest. We'll just have to wait and see. Okay. I'm too strong. I'm too strong. Please use your AoE. I'm begging. There we go. Ah, that's alright. I can tank most of this stuff. It's okay. The healer's pretty solid. Hmm. But yeah, I am very ready for FanFest. I don't know. It's just a good excuse to. It's kind of like, you stop playing for a little bit, you start playing other games. You sometimes need that little reminder, that little kick of being like, okay, yeah, Final Fantasy's still my favorite franchise, right? You kind of need that little kick every now and then. Yeah, it's never going away, but it's always nice to be reminded, I think. But yeah, I was looking through a little bit of the walkthrough for FF7 for the upcoming parts. We're a lot further along than I thought. This 2 really is not as big as I remember it being. It's just there's a lot of areas at this point where you start to grind and farm a little bit, and that's where a lot of the time comes in. But in terms of us, like, getting through FF7 and starting in on FF8, like, we're a lot closer than I thought. I mean, it's still going to be a little bit of time. Like, we're still a few weeks away at my current pace, unless I start doing multiple days of streams at a time, which, I mean, that's an option. After work tomorrow, I've got a few days off, so who knows? We might end up doing it. But yeah, aside from, like, just grinding and, like, doing stuff like the chocobo breeding, like, we are really kind of blitzing through the story. So I'm excited. I like FF7, but I am kind of ready for it to be done. Just because it's one that I played before, and I know there's a couple FFs coming up that I do like a lot more, and I'm excited to get to them. But FF7 in particular, I've never played it. I've never played FF8. I mean, I don't know literally anything about the game at all. I know who Squall is, and I know he's a gunbreaker. That's literally all I know about the game. For whatever reason, it's just like a black box in my mind, right? So I'm actually genuinely excited to play it because it is going to be new and it's going to be fresh. And I feel like there are a lot of parts of it that are iconic. I know that some people don't like it as much, but I feel like a lot of that is probably because it was coming on the heels of FF7, and it's like, how do you follow up one of the most popular games of all time, right? So, yeah. I think I'm really gonna like it. And then obviously after that, we have FF9, which is probably gonna be one of my sleeper favorites in terms of just overall. So I mean, we've got like 3 Final Fantasies coming up right after this that are essentially the golden age of the franchise, right? So yeah, I'm excited for FanFest to just kind of rekindle that and just have my streaming life revolve around Final Fantasy and the old Squaresoft days for a little while. Yeah, I am kind of curious if they are going to announce, and this has been rumored for a while, a dual subscription for FF11 and FF14, because there's been talk that they might combine the subscription for a while. Now that 11's kind of old, it's, it still gets some in-game content every now and then, but it's basically in maintenance mode for the most part. They've kind of sunsetted, and it's just there for people to go back and enjoy. But if they do announce that, I think that would be really cool. I think it'll be a lot of fun. One of my coworkers plays FF11, so it would be a good opportunity to actually get in and experience what all he's talking about. I know from today's perspective, it's not, I guess, what you would call, quote-unquote, a good game. It's very much like EverQuest-era MMO, right? But you know what? I played a lot of EverQuest back in the day, so why not? Let's relive the past. Here we go. If my coworkers are gonna call me old, then you know what? I'm just gonna act old. Why not? I'm gonna go full on into it. That is a really good Cryo Mog. That is a really good Cryo cosplay. A+. They get my comms. Perfect. So yeah, I'm kind of curious, you know, outside of FF14, what other kind of little announcements like that we're gonna get? Because there's always a few, right? There's always a few of those little surprise announcements that, you know, aren't necessarily directly related to, you know, the new expansion or like upcoming patch content specifically, but they're like still kind of massive changes to the game that really no one expected, right? So we'll just have to see how that goes. I'm sure we'll get Femgar, right? Or we'll get female Rothgar at some point. Outside of that though, I just don't know. You know, an FF11 dual sub might be kind of cool. I just really can't imagine anything else. Blitzball, please Blitzball. I'm begging. But outside of that, I can't really think of anything else massive, which naturally means that they'll come up with something, you know, UI-wise or like some weird bit of content that comes out of left field. It just blows everyone's mind. So, you know, we're almost there. It's about 20 days away. So give it a couple weeks, 3 weeks. Well, with that said, I think I'm gonna go ahead and head out and have a chill evening. You know, I'm watching Suzume, which is a fantastic movie. I've been wanting to watch this for ages because obviously the studio has had banger after banger. So I want to finish watching that. I'm like halfway through it right now. But yeah, it's fantastic. I'm really liking it. But yeah, we'll chill, and then later on this week we've got plenty of time open. We'll just kind of play it by ear and see how things go. But obviously FF7 at some point. You know, I might do a guitar stream, another guitar stream at some point. I really want to do tone practice. Like most of the time I get in here, play a bunch of covers, and you know, kind of just wing it for a couple of hours. I really want to get in and do some tone practice where I'm not even necessarily just like playing anything in particular, but more like trying to figure out guitar rig and trying to get the tone that I want. I feel like that's been one of the bigger holdups on the streams, is that I just have not figured out the tone that I like. I just have not gotten that tone. It's some parts of it just get really fuzzy. Some parts of it are just yeah, it's just kind of I don't know. So we need to do a day, and I feel like that's one of those things that some people would be like, why would you stream that? What's interesting about that? We want to hear you, you know, play Motorhead, right? But I feel like there's not really a lot of streams that really kind of go into a lot of the back end and practice that has to go into it. So, you know, it might be good if you are a beginning guitar player, or, you know, you just started getting into the digital workspace, maybe trying to get in here and figure things out together. So I think there's some value in that. You know, I know there's a lot of people that want to get in here and watch me learn how to play Battery or Blackened or something like that, but I think a good stream of like tone practice could have its own worth too. You know, it doesn't always need to be this super heavy thrashy stuff. There's a billion streamers that do that. So I want to try something that might help out some people too. But outside of that, I think this is going to be it for the night. Thanks a ton, everyone, for coming by and checking out another stream. It's been a while. It's nice to kind of hop back into FF14 after so long. Again, you know, like, subscribe, hit the bell, follow me on the tweets. I'm trying to get on Blue Sky, but so far no luck. I don't know. I don't really know anyone. I'm just kind of a wandering vagabond in the streaming world. But yeah, eventually, maybe one day I'll get over there. But yeah, thanks a ton, everybody. I hope you have a good rest of your weekend and a good start to your week tomorrow. We'll try and stream something maybe after work. We'll see how awake I am. I took a nap, so I'm all kinds of messed up in terms of schedule. But yeah, we've got a lot coming up. So thanks a ton, and have a good night, everybody.